Welcome to your July intuitive energy forecast. All right, Aries rising, those with their moons in Aries. This energy for most of July is in your fourth house of home, family, real estate. So that means for you, Aries, some of you may be moving, some of you may be renovating or fixing up the house, or something might be changing within the family unit, within the house itself. Sometimes the fourth house too can mean new pets, like the close pets like dogs or cats, or birds like parrots. That kind of thing could be coming into your life as well, Aries. Something notable is Mars will be moving into Virgo. That's your sixth house of your day-to-day. So your day-to-day life is changing. The way you do the routines, even just like how you get to work maybe, or it's the systems. And sometimes the sixth house can mean your health. So it could be that you're noticing things about your health. You may be getting a little more inflammation with Mars in there too. So watch for that. The heat of Mars, right, in your sixth house of health. So just think about that. Another thing that is interesting is Jupiter on June 24th moved into Cancer, and that's another big planet transit. It affects the collective for a long time. So the last time Jupiter was in Cancer was 12 years ago. Jupiter brings luck and benevolence and expansion in some way, and Cancer is that home and family vibe. So you are having a new cycle when it comes to your real estate, your home and family in some way. Okay, Aries. Think about what you were doing 12 years ago. Okay, so it's 2025 right now, June. So think around June 2013. Think about that. It could be similar energies happening for you. And then you can even go 12 years prior to 2013. So what were you doing in 2001? Yeah, that was a big change for me too in 2001. So just start thinking about that. And you could see the cycles kind of come out again. But for you, Aries, it's definitely about that home, family, and real estate things. And your ancestors, your roots, where you grew up, your parents, things like that as well. Another thing that recently happened, Aries, is that Saturn, another big planet that makes a very slow movement, and it went into Aries. This is big too. Man, lots of stuff. And that's in your sign. So Saturn's asking you to be responsible for yourself and responsible for your physical body, Aries. Time to look at, what are you putting in your mouth? Are you working on your health? That kind of thing too, you know. That's important as well. And one more thing that happened is Neptune moved into Aries not very long ago. Another super long thing, you know. And for you, that is in your first house of self. There is a kind of a new identity shift for you, Aries. You're getting hit a lot, you know, or you're getting tickled. You're getting stimulated. There's lots going on with you, Aries, right now. This kind of looks to me like a chapter reset for quite a few of you. All right. So that looks good, you know. Enjoy the good stuff. And remember, Spirit always has your back. And, you know, family, friends could be good to reach out to. And also we have another big planet moving. Man, 2025 is crazy, I'll tell you. So for you, Aries, that's in Gemini. Okay, so Uranus and Gemini. Last time this happened was 84 years ago, okay? This is what I'm talking about, these big planets moving into new signs. That's why 2025 is so pivotal. But for you, Aries, this Uranus and Gemini, July 8th, third house of your siblings, your communication, new neighborhoods as well. But there's just lots of stimulus in the way you think now with Gemini, learning new things, and unexpected events when it comes to your neighborhood, your vehicles, your learning, all these. You're getting a bunch of downloads. You're like, am I psychic? Yeah, you totally are, Aries. Everybody's getting a little more psychic. It's in the airwaves, right? Uranus and Gemini, it's all up here in the intellect, in the airwaves, right? And I'll be doing a video about Uranus and Gemini for everybody collective because it's such a big deal. Okay, so Aries, let's move on to your cards. What do we have for you? New beginning here, rider, news, visitor, movement. She's on her horse. And the one is like a new beginning. And like I said, you have a lot of ones in your chart, right? Neptune in Aries, first house. Saturn in Aries, first house. There's just a lot of stuff here. And there's some kind of news, visitor, movement for you as well. Okay, in Lenormand. And that person is literally bringing you new messages. And so you've got some new communications here, especially with Uranus moving into Gemini July 8th. I'm not surprised if you're receiving new communications, all sorts of changes there. And with the letter, right? Message letter. So that's very interesting indeed. Now, let's pull a card too from the Power of 8 Chakra Oracle. Oh, and Venus is in Gemini too, Aries. Venus, the planet of abundance and love and money. So new visitors bringing you messages in the third house, July 5th, that week's, for a few weeks, as Venus is in Gemini for you, Aries. So that looks cool indeed. You're just getting a lot of communications, a lot of messages, a lot of visitors, a lot of guests, a lot of people in your life, I'm sure. A lot of changes maybe in your neighborhood in some way. So that looks interesting. Some of you may be even starting or teaching a course with all that communication vibe, Aries. Could be considering working from home more. Some of you could be retiring too with that fourth house of home and family and real estate and things like that. There's a lot of making the home your sanctuary, Aries. And look, I am safe. Number one, another one. New beginnings for you, Aries. I'm telling you. And you are the first sign of the zodiac. Red Aries, first house, the first starts us off on the wheel, right? Aries, you start us off. And so you got number one here, I am safe. So consider grounding, walking barefoot in the grass every day for a few minutes. Consider using essential oils that are grounding from a tree, sandalwood, birch, arbora vitae from doTERRA. Contact me, I sell doTERRA, by the way. But anything from a tree can be very good. Cinnamon bark can be helpful in helping you feel grounded and safe. And then if you like rocks, shungite or red jasper, or black rocks like black tourmaline, onyx, things like that you could place in your bra or under your pillow or in your pocket to, have the generate of that frequency from the rock to help you feel safe, grounded, and secure during this big transition for you, Aries. And if anything, come see me for a reading at www.themoontree.org. All right, Taurus rising, those with their moons in Taurus. Well, we have a busy July here. A lot of this stuff is going in your third house of communications, your neighborhood, your siblings. You could have more energy there, but a lot more like invitations and socials and texts and emails and that kind of thing. You're busy here doing small tasks maybe, or running to town more often, or short trips, right? That kind of thing, Taurus, indeed. And you're learning something. You're on the learning line. The third, ninth house is the learning something new line as well. Expanding your mind through knowledge. So that looks cool indeed. And so Venus is your ruling planet, Taurus. So I like to say, well, what's Venus doing? Well, on July 5th, it moves into Gemini. So a little more of that communication energy for sure, but it's in your second house of money and of your self-worth. So what I would say here is that new ways of making money can come through by Gemini things. What's Gemini things? Well, things that involve the intellect, things that involve communication, marketing, branding yourself, getting the message out. And this can mean, if you have your own business, doing the Facebook ad thing, because you might, you're here to change the world and make a difference, but how people buy from you or know who you are, right? And so it might be a case of Facebook ads as an example, or getting onto new platforms like YouTube, going live on Facebook. Communication and branding is very important here, Taurus. The voice, right? And Taurus, you already rule the voice. But this can bring you some new passive income streams. Maybe it could be about writing, because the third house, in Cancer season here for you, Taurus, there's a lot here where you could be writing, talking more, using the voice and the pen. Okay, so that looks cool to make more passive income, right? Okay, and then also we have here on June 24th, Jupiter moved into Cancer. There's a lot of planets that, the big ones that impact the collective. 2025 is a big year, Taurus. Now, Jupiter moved into Cancer, the home and family, and we are in Cancer season. So for most of July, again, we've got that third house for you, Taurus, of the luck comes through using the voice, learning something new, kind of all up here. So the throat chakra and the third eye chakra for the vision. So talking, visualization, right? And with that Gemini energy of airwaves, I think that, right? You could be extra, how do you say, telepathic. Being able to communicate with people without actually talking because it's happening in the mind, right? You could be. And there is a spiritual vibe with Saturn that moved into Aries recently in the 12th house for you. So Taurus, you are more spiritual. You probably need a little more quiet time. You may get overwhelmed with this busy energy of the third house when you're really wanting to maybe have that rest and relaxation and grounding and retreat time. So that's important for you, Taurus, to balance the busy and the learning and all the stuff going on up here, right, Taurus, with the the spiritual stuff, the meditation, the quieting of the mind. Sometimes it's good to just shut off everything, shut off the Wi-Fi, shut off your phone, and just relax in nature. The quiet is what we as human beings need. It's good for our neural paths in the brain. So just something to keep in mind. And yes, Taurus, you are having unexpected events with money, with that Uranus moving into Gemini on July 8th. Unexpected stuff with your income, your money, your self-worth. Big innovations, aha moments with Uranus doing that for you. I do see for you, Taurus, there's a lot of opportunities in tech. All right, so learning something new when it comes to technology could be very beneficial for you. All right, let's look at your cards. Okay, we've got the Lenormand. Let's see what's happening for Taurus in July. I shuffle till something looks very obvious. See this one? All right. The star, wishes, dreams. This is quite an Aquarius vibe up here too, like that Gemini energy in the third house of communications and thinking. We've got hopes, wishes, dreams in the Lenormand with the star. When you wish upon a star. There's a lot of ability here. This can be a technology card too as well. I'm really getting the vibe for you, Taurus, that tech is key for you. Okay, and hopes, dreams, manifestations, vision boards. Envisioning the future that you have already in the field. You just got to bring it down to 3D, right? All right. And we have here there's some, you may feel that there's some obstacles there with the mountain to your hopes and dreams in some way. So, or to the psychic stuff, or to the downloads, or the connection. All that stuff could be feeling a little bit like you're feeling like an obstacle or a blockage. And in some cases, the mountains can be literal mountains, and it could be a sign from spirit saying, hey, you want to get clear on your hopes, dreams, manifestations, and all that? Maybe it's time to go camping. Maybe it's time to get out in nature. Maybe it's time to go on a mountain trip, to Banff in Alberta or whatever, right? Could be something like that as well. But for whatever, thing it is, it could be, that with that 2 energy of self-worth, the obstacle might be your confidence, your self-worth, right? Could be needing a little boost, a little confidence boost. Let's see what the chakra cards have to say. And we are having a sale right now, Taurus, if you'd like. $20 for both sets together. $20 for the 2, and then you just pay shipping as well. So we're having a big summer sizzler sale. Oh, I just got this for Aries. I am safe. Yes, being safe. It's okay to rise and shine, Taurus. It's okay to learn new technology. It's okay to try new things. And feeling safe in expressing yourself. Because the third house that most of this is happening is expression, talking, communications, feeling safe to do that. So like I told Aries, anything from a tree for essential oils, cinnamon bark, sandalwood, arbor vitae, right? And then also, of course, those rocks, the black rock, Shungite's very good, black tourmaline's very good, onyx and garnet, dark red or dark red jasper, those kind of things to feel safe. And of course, getting out in the mountains and getting at least in your backyard with bare feet and walking in the grass. It's called the ground for a reason, because it's grounding your electrical body and helping you receive new good downloads of the star cards. So that looks good. Okay, Taurus. And if you like this, come see me for a reading at www.themoontree.org. Thanks, Taurus. All right, Gemini rising, those with their moons in Gemini. We are talking about July. What's happening? Well, a lot of energy for you, Gemini, is in your second house of money, passive income, and your self-worth. So, Gemini, this could mean a lot of things. I like to look what's Mercury doing, because that's your ruling planet. And, that's all up here. The thoughts, the thinking. Mercury is your planet. So it is it's in Leo on June 27th in your third house of messages. So you are getting new messages, new communications, new busy stuff when it comes to money. Maybe you're getting more clients. Maybe you've been waiting for some kind of money to come in, and there's new messages coming about that. So that looks good. At least it's progress. Not saying you're going to get the money. I am saying there's progress there. So that looks good. And Venus is in Gemini on July 5th, the planet of money and abundance in your first house of self. I think, Gemini, you're going to look especially hot in July with Venus in your first house, making you pretty, making you handsome, okay? But not only that, it's bringing you maybe a new love relationship as well, or a new self-worth in how you do relationship, and knowing that you are worth it, and not settling for just whatever relationship. So that looks good. It's interesting. And yes, you could be receiving some money here. There's home and family energy with Mars and Virgo in your fourth house. What does this mean? Well, for you, Gemini, this could be doing something in the house, real estate wise, organization, perhaps with Virgo. Virgo likes to organize, puts things in boxes, categorizes. So it could be time for summer cleaning or garage sale or something like that for you, Gemini, here in July. Now, Jupiter just moved into Cancer, and so think about what happened 12 years ago around this time. Okay, Gemini, that theme will come up again. For example, so that would have been 2013. That's when I had my first son, Hunter. He just turned 12. So that kind of theme of birthing something. Obviously, I can't birth a kid anymore at 47 years old. I had my tubes tied, but maybe that's too much information, but whatever. So I'm not going to birth a kid, but I'm going to birth something new. I'm in the stages of birthing something new in my life in some way, right? So what were you doing 12 years ago, Gemini? And it does look like it has something to do with your self-worth, your money, your values, and something about money as well. Okay. And then also we have something big's happening. Like I said at the beginning, Uranus moving into Gemini, your sign, July 8th. Now, this hasn't happened since World War II days, okay? 84 years ago. So there's a lot of changes, unexpected changes going with you, Gemini. And that can be with your body. It could be having new revelations, new aha moments, learning something new about technology, unexpected things with a new relationship, maybe. One never knows what Uranus unexpected events shall bring, but let me tell you, it will be interesting and it'll shock you, and you gotta go with the flow a little bit when it comes to this, okay? So if anything, Gemini, it's just teaching you to be patient, to be more flexible, and to believe that everything works out in your favor. Okay, Gemini? So, and it's also, some innovative times to think about technology and how it can make you more money as well. Could be passive income streams and things like that. All right, Gemini, it's time to pull a card. Let's pull from the Power of 8 Chakra Lenormand first. By the way, Gemini, we're having a sale, a summer SIZZLER sale. So you get both decks for $20. Plus shipping. All right, so let me know if you're interested, or just buy them on my website, www.themoontree.org. All right, let's see for Gemini in July. Gemini in July. Gemini in July. Ooh, that rhymes. I like rhymes. Ooh, see the child. Now, there could be a lot of energy with you, Gemini, about spending money on your kids. It could be about your kids in general or their self-worth, things like that. But it is something new, right? Or, usually when I get the child card, that's why I wrote the new, because there's different keywords for Lenormand cards, but I really vibe with the new when I'm doing this. So it is a new energy here, although it could be about your children as well. Okay, let's see what else. We need some clarification. I just shuffle till something looks really obvious. So here we go. Okay, so decisions about the child, maybe with the cutting. Okay, and it could be decisions about something new. Okay, let's see one more. I need one more clarifying with that cutting card, with that scythe. For some it can mean be careful about accidents with your children. Don't put them in a dangerous situation. Watch for accidents on motor vehicles and things like that, right? Like, for example, my son, he's 9 and turning 10, and his dad got him a really cool motorbike, but that thing goes fast. You got to be super careful or you can get hurt, right? So things like that to think about for the child part of it. However, it looks like, in other news, say it's not about the kids making decisions, and it also could be about love. So making decisions about love, new love. It could be like you met someone new and then you're deciding, should I continue or should I cut this person out of my life? Should I end the relationship? In any case, there's some important decisions about something new that you love. And it doesn't have to be a relationship either. It could just be something like a new job that, and you're trying to cut that which you don't love anymore, right? And it could be just going through all the things in your life and deciding, do I need this anymore? Do I like this anymore? Is this toxic to me? Blah, blah, blah. And making those cutting decisions about that so that you can end up with the love, a happy, loving life in some ways. So there's a lot of things. And it does depend on your chart, because Lenormand, has a lot of different, connotations and so I like to compare with your charts, different astrology charts and Botsy and things like that, to see exactly what the cards are talking about. Okay, so come see me for a reading, Gemini, because I feel like this deserves something a little deeper. But for now, let's pull a card from the Power of 8 Chakra Oracle to see any, big brother, big sister information here. I forgive the past. So for a lot of you, it is something about the relationships in your life. Could be a love relationship, or it could be something to do with an ex, right? All sorts of stuff. But forgiving the past, it could be forgiving the way you grew up and how it affected your self-worth with that second house too. So want to forgive the past. I would say, on the full moon, July 10th, mark this down on your calendar, to write a forgiveness letter to someone who's hurt you or that keeps going in your mind. Say, I forgive you, and sign your name, and then burn it out in the full moon, or within the, 3 days before and after July 10th, okay, as the full moon's in Capricorn. So I would do that, Gemini, to help release that, so that you can forgive, so that you can move on, right? And whatever that means for you, okay? Thanks, Gemini. All right, Cancer rising, Cancer moons. Like me, I'm a Cancer moon, Cancer rising. I tell you that every time, but this is for the new people if we've just met. So I'm very Cancerian, even though I'm Aquarius, but I always get excited, when it comes to Cancer forecasts. And so we are the stars of the show in July, at least until July 21st. And then it's Leo that'll be the star. But for now, this is in our first house of self. There's just a lot about our bodies. our relationships, how we value ourselves. There's kind of a new freshness to it as well, Cancer. Something interesting there, and it could be healing of the body as well. Now, we are run by the moon. So these new moons and full moons are always very, very significant. And so you should track those and keep track of them. So, on June 25th, we had the new moon in Cancer. Okay, that was yesterday for me, because Wednesday, June 25th. So yesterday we had that new moon in Cancer, and so new beginnings in ourselves, and new beginnings in, like, even today I cut my hair myself and I put in a new color, and I kind of like it, just working with the body and working with your physical avatar as well, and beautifying that, maybe just more self-worth, and maybe just like a little bit of a change, right? Nothing drastic, but just something changing there. And then we do have the full moon on Thursday, July 10th in Capricorn. This is new business contracts and commitments in the 7th house, or building something new. It can be about relationships as well, husband, wife stuff, spouse stuff, close one-on-one partnerships, or business partnerships as well. So there's something new happening, full moon, okay, on July, where there's just some new illumination and forging. And it could be some people are ending relationships or ending a contract. It's run its course, even if it's like your final car payment. I mean, it can be that ending vibe with the full moon as well on July 10th. But it does have something with contracts, commitments, and sometimes it could be, wedding. It could be getting married, or on the other side, getting, notified of divorce, or getting divorced, or something like that too. So who knows? You never know what these things will really bring, and it all depends on your personal charts as well. So we'll see what happens there. But there's changes for us, Cancers. Okay, so Jupiter just moved into Cancer on June 24th. And so this is lasting for a year. And the last time it did this was 12 years ago, right? So what were you doing 12 years ago? And like, for example, me, in 2013, that was 12 years ago. In 2013, I was having my first child, Hunter, and he just turned 12. So I can't have children anymore. So I'm not going to be birthing any more kids. And I'm cool with that, by the way. But I am probably birthing, something new in my business, and new things are happening there. And the theme of birthing. So what is it for you, Cancer, too? Like, what was happening for you in 2013? And you can even go back again another 12 years to 2001 and start to see patterns, right? And that theme is sort of coming up again. And Jupiter is great to be in Cancer. It loves it's exalted there, when Jupiter comes into Cancer, Cancer's like, yay, Jupiter's here. And Jupiter's like, yes, I'm here. Let's go. We work together really good. Jupiter loves being in Cancer. So this is a good time for everyone, but especially for us. And it can be very lucky this year too, some lucky events and opportunities coming our way. So watch for signs. Okay, Cancer, very spiritual energy and intuitive energy here too for us. We have Saturn that moved into Aries in their 10th house of career, fame, recognition, asking us to be responsible and have structure in our work. And maybe like a nice funnel in our business, and from cold lead to sale, or structure with the money, making sure all your T's are crossed and I's are dotted, and you have some kind of structure. Saturn asks us to be responsible in our business. Okay, so that's a big thing. Okay, Cancer. And then also a big thing is happening. Uranus is moving into Gemini. And okay, the last time it did this was 84 years ago. So it's not going to change signs for another 84 years. So it's going to be in Gemini for the rest of our lives. Okay, what does this mean? Well, I'm doing a whole video about Uranus and Gemini, but for us in particular, that's our 12th house of spirituality. This is supercharged intuition. You thought you were psychic now? Ooh, just wait. You're on just new innovations and technology, Cancer, for us. The 12th house is about retreats as well, hosting retreats. Okay, that would be very good if you own your own business, hosting a retreat, whatever. But there's just a lot of unexpected changes in the Gemini vibe. This is about us having maybe delivering some spiritual courses or learning about spirituality through a course. So 12th house can mean a lot of things. It can also mean new ways that you do your international money. I could see, cryptocurrency in there, PayPal stuff, whatever, having a nice online way to accept money. That could be a big thing with the 12th house as well. But in general, it's spiritual. It's bringing attention to our inner world. And Uranus wants to shake things up. He's kind of rebellious. And you never know what he's going to do. So that'll be interesting. Keeps life interesting, okay? So that's cool, Cancer. How exciting for us. Okay, let's pull a card from the Power of 8 Chakra Lenormand. By the way, we have our set. These both decks come to you only for $20 plus shipping. So check that out on my website, www.themoontree.org. All right, let's see for... Oh, I had the money card there. I saw real quick. Ooh. Okay, let's see Cancer for us in July. And then, by the way, after July 21st, when things move into Leo, that's going to go into our second house of our self-worth and money. So that's looking good. Cancer, we've got a good stuff happening here for us. And we've got the whip, which can mean conflict verbally in some ways, relationship conflict. It could be perhaps, or, and if it is, it's like Cancer won't, you as a Cancer won't take no baloney, right? But in other news, this can mean a new exercise program with the whip, and meaning that because we have a lot of energy in our first house of the self, of the body, the physical avatar, this meat suit we live in, okay, this can mean taking care of our body better by doing more physical activity, whatever that means for you as well. It could be strength training, which is good for the hormones. Could be going out for walks in nature. Could be taking up swimming or dance or anything that involves that. Another thing too is that this can mean a little bit of more fun time in the bedroom, right? With your loved one, your spouse, things like that as well. You might be feeling that extra with all this energy in our body, right? So there's a lot of meanings with the whip, but let's just see what else. I'll pull another clarifier card for us, Cancerian persuasion, and there's solutions there. So this actually, there's solutions to conflict. There's solutions to the body and to the physicality. And if you've been feeling like sometimes the whip can mean I'm doing things over and over again in this cycle, and I can't get out of it. I just feel like it's the same over and over again. And so the solutions is like, bang, let's get out of that cycle, right? Let's do something fresh, something new. And I know that when Uranus enters Gemini July 8th, you're going to really feel that for sure. Okay, Cancer. Now let's pull one more card from the Power of 8 Chakra Oracle to see some big sister, big brother vibes for us Cancers in July. Our time to shine, baby. Let's see. Oh, look at this. The moon guides me. Well, no duh. It sure does. We are Cancer. We are run by the moon. That's our ruling planet. So, like I said before, we have to follow the new moon, the full moon, and watch the cycles, right? And learn about the moon. In our guidebook, it talks about the moon and that, but you can learn about the cycles. The black one means new moon, new beginnings, which we just had on June 25th. And this one down here is the full moon, the white one. And that's when everything comes illuminated, comes to an end almost. Sometimes it's like a chapter ending almost. It's the highest of the energy, and then it starts going down to... So learn about all these stages and what you can do within these stages for your business and for your life. Very good. The moon guides me. Thank you, Cancer. And if you like this reading, come see me for a reading one-on-one at www.themoontree.org. And it's also where you can buy the cards for our summer SIZZLER sale. See you in the next one. Leo rising. Those with their moons in Leo. Welcome to July. Now, for most of July, you're like a racehorse waiting for your turn to race, right? When Leo season happens on July 21st, 22nd. Okay. But for most of July, you're in the rest mode, the retreat mode, the spiritual mode in the 12th house. You're You're repressing a lot too. You're, hiding things. Good. It's just because you're just resting and stuff. And I feel like you're recharging. It's kind of a recharge mode, getting ready. It's a very spiritual time though, Leo. Maybe you've done a lot of work lately and now it's time to rest, right? And so it's your time to just chill. Mercury on June 27th moved into Leo. So that's your first house of the self. I think that there's going to be more Mercury focus on your body, the first house of the body, this meat suit we live in, and be paying attention to your mental health and to your physical health. I do think this is your time where I give you permission to nap, Leo. You need the rest. Okay. You need to recharge after all this excitement that's been happening in your life. Okay, so that looks good. And Jupiter just moved into Cancer on June 24th in your 12th house as well. So I want you to think about, Leo, what were you doing 12 years ago? Because every 12 years, it comes back to Cancer. So, for example, in 2013, because that's 12 years ago, what were you doing in 2013? Well, for example, Leo, I was having my first kid, Hunter. He just turned 12. So my theme is rebirthing, something or stuff about the body, for example. What about you, Leo? And then you can even look at 2001 as well. And you'll see 2001, 2013. What were you doing those 2 years, Leo? That energy is coming up again for the rest of this year until next June 2026. Okay, so think about that. It does have something to do with spirituality, quiet time, a rest after a big thing. Okay, something like that. Spiritual as well. Something spiritual. Could be like someone passed away and you felt their spirit with you. All sorts of stuff like that too. Okay. Next, we have, another big thing. I'm going to do a whole video about Uranus and Gemini because this was 84 years ago. And no, none of us probably watching were alive 84 years ago. But that was during kind of the World War II era, by the way. But July 8th, Uranus moves into Gemini. This is in your hopes, wishes, unexpected events for your future. Okay, Leo, Uranus is bringing unexpected stuff, and Gemini is about your ideas and intellect and communications and learning. It's all up here in the brain. So something very unexpected, interesting is going to be starting to happen, and it happens too a lot with your hopes and dreams for the future. And the 11th house with Uranus and Gemini in your 11th house, this is about your networks, your friends. I think that there's going to be unexpected new friendships maybe, or new networks that you get associated with. Something very interesting indeed. It could be some of you going back to school maybe. And like I said, Uranus is going to be in Gemini for the rest of our lives. So who knows? But I'm just saying that these are sort of the themes. Gemini is a lot about the thoughts and the airwaves. Telekinesis, or not telekinesis. Yeah, telekinesis could be one. But I was thinking more of telepathy, like you becoming more psychic and stuff like that, right? With your friends, you'll be like, "Oh, the phone's ringing. You know who it is already," or you're talking to your friend in the 11th house, and you just. It can mean also too that you're meeting up with new friends that are kind of quirky and Uranus-like and rebellious, maybe like fighting against something or rebel or I don't know, something like that. We just never know what Uranus is going to bring. It's a very unexpected. Expect the unexpected, they say, with Uranus. But Uranus has a lot to do with technology too. So it could be you meeting new groups of people or new networks that have to do with technology, learning new things with technology, learning about AI, learning about doing Facebook ads, all right? All sorts of things as well. So that could be interesting for you, Leo, indeed. Now, let's pull some cards. By the way, Leo, you might be interested. We are having a summer SIZZLER sale. So both decks for $20 plus shipping. Come check it out, www.themoontree.org. And while you're there, maybe you want a reading. All right, so let's pull some cards from the Lenormand for you, Leo. Now, Lenormand talks to us like a friend. It's like a sentence. So we've got Oh, this is a bonus card. Phoenix rising. Look at you, Leo. You are rising out and you are spending time in the 12th house, which is in the underneath, and thinking about the future maybe and reflecting on what's gone on and having that rest. But this Phoenix rising shows me that there's a, when it's your time to shine, Leo, in Leo's season here after July 21st, you're going to rise up like the Phoenix, right? So that looks interesting. And that was a bonus card. That was a bonus card. Okay, so let's see, Leo, what else? Okay. Oh, and we have loyal friend. Okay, so if you've been through something traumatic or something really busy or something like that, I get by with a little help from my friends. Okay. If you are feeling addicted to alcohol, drugs, going to the AA meetings or whatever, because this can be like a person who is a professional helping you rise up of something, okay, in any way. So it doesn't have to be alcohol either. It could be anything, but it could be like a lawyer. It could be an accountant. It could be a hospital worker. It could be any professional, right, that helps you out. But it could also just be your friend and getting by with help with the friends as well. It could, for some of you, it is like, I'm going to get a dog. I'm a Leo. I want a dog now. And I want a new friend. I want a dog. And it'll help me relieve depression, maybe. I mean, all sorts of things. See, you're getting it. The Phoenix rising with the dog loyal friend. Isn't that nice? And yeah, I was telling you, Leo, you're getting some unexpected new friends, new networks here starting July 8th. And it's probably already started because the way things work here in this reality is like when you throw a stone on the water, it ripples out, right? So the energy's already started to ripple. And remember, time is just an illusion anyway. So let's see from the Power of 8 Chakra Oracle what we can glean for you, Leo, in July. 12th house of rest, retreat, spirituality. Okay, and we have here, I trust myself with the moon, right? Leo, you're ruled by the sun, so that means you're also ruled by the moon. So the sun is in your 12th house. And then you're also, when you get those new moons and full moons, you're also feeling those quite a bit. So we had the new moon June 25th in your 12th house. So something spiritual, more psychic, all sorts of things like that, and resting and relaxation. And then the full moon happens July 10th in Capricorn in your, it's very much about work for you. Something with your business or your work is happening here, full moon. Some of you could be ending something in work, or some of you it gets an aha moment. Here's what I got to do for my business next. And just this more like downloads when it comes to your business and your career. Okay, Leo, so that looks cool. And also of your health, mental health is big, Leo. You need to make sure you keep care of your mental health, depression, tired, stress, right? All those things. You want to work on that and you trust yourself to do that, okay? I know you can do it. And if you want more help with that, come see me for a reading. Okay, thanks, Leo. Bye for now. All right, Virgo rising, and those with their moons in Virgo, welcome to July, where all the energy of the sun in Cancer is in your 11th house of the people, networks, new people, new networks, and your hopes and dreams, Virgo. I love being in the 11th house because there's always people that want to help you out. We call these noblemen in Chinese metaphysics. But in any case, this is a good time to have fun with friends, get out more, be social, and meet new networks and that. Now, Mercury is in Leo in your 12th house, though, which means that you might be tired sometimes and more spiritual, though. 12th house is very spiritual and inner wounds and kind of looking at what you're repressing. Now, it could be, Virgo, that you're repressing your shine, your Leo shine. And so the sun's trying to get you to get out and shine in front of the people, trying to get you aware, at least, or observant that you could be, repressing things or being more depressed maybe, or not leaning on people like you could be, or asking for help. or it could be the way you're thinking, your belief systems, and maybe seeing the glass empty, half empty instead of half full. I think that we're asking you here, Virgo, to be more optimistic, and that the people can help you to do that. So leaning on people, Virgo, can be very good at this time. Could be a time too, Virgo, where you're just getting more involved with spiritual networks, spiritual people. So your social circle is expanding into the more spiritual stuff. And also, Virgo, if you own your own business, it's a very good time here to do host a retreat or a mini retreat of some sort. That'd be very good for you. Jupiter did move into Cancer June 24th. It did have in your 11th house of the people and your hopes and dreams again. So I want you to think, Virgo, what were you doing back in 2013, which was 12 years ago? Because that theme, again, especially when it has to do with your hopes, dreams, and people and social networks, it's coming up again. And also 2001. So think back those two dates. 2001, 2013, what was happening, the good things, because Jupiter likes to bring benevolence in Cancer and good luck, expansion in some way as well. So think about the good things that were happening and the lessons and the good, opportunities that happened there for you, Virgo, because that theme could be coming up. For example, when, in 2013, I was having my first kid, Hunter. He's 12 now. He just turned 12. So I'm birthing something or something to do with the body. So just an example, Virgo. It's fun to think about what you were doing in those 2 years. That's 2001 and 2013. Okay, and next we have another big thing happening. Uranus, the unexpected, rebellious technology planet, is moving into Gemini. Now, it didn't do that since 84 years ago during the World War II decade. So here we have something unexpected, new stuff happening in your career, your business, your fame, your recognition. Okay, 10th house. So I don't know. No astrologer knows what Uranus is exactly going to bring, but I would say to embrace technology in your business. It could be like learning how to do a Facebook ad. It could be structuring your business with a funnel, cold lead to sale. It could be anything like that, but learning technology, learning AI, and learning things past just typing into Chat GPT, but learning about more capabilities, taking an AI course, maybe a mini course for people over 40. I don't know, whatever. But there's just lots of changes here for you in your career, and they can be unexpected. But Gemini likes to work with the mind and the radio and the frequency and the airwaves, if you know what I'm saying. So you could be extra psychic when it comes to your business or your career as well. So you never know. Some of you Virgos could become famous, and this Uranus and Gemini lasts for the rest of our lives. Because like I said, it doesn't happen until every 84 years. So pretty sure if you're watching, you're not going to live, for another 84 years. So keep that in mind. Lots of opportunity to be recognized, to be happy in your career, and to learn something new when it comes to communications, marketing, branding, AI, technology, all sorts of things, getting on that bandwagon as well. And for some of you, it could be teaching a course or learning a course as well. So lots of learning and big things. But I am going to be making a whole video on this Uranus and Gemini because I think it's big. Okay. Now, Virgo, let's pull a card from first we'll pull from the Power of 8 Chakra Lenormand. These are our cards. By the way, we're having a summer SIZZLER sale. $20 for both decks mailed to you. So you have to also pay for shipping. But $20 plus shipping gets you both decks. So check that out on my website, www.themoontree.org. And maybe stop in for a reading as well. I got lots of quantum path readings for you. Okay, Virgo, let us knock 3 times and let's shuffle. Okay, what can we know for Virgo in July? What's happening for Virgo in July? Ooh, a new commitment of some sort here. Maybe. Well, we'll just wait. It just means commitment contracts in some way. And it could be that there is the whip can often mean verbal. This could be a verbal contract, or maybe within your marriage you're being fighting more verbal and stuff. That could be thing. Another thing the whip can mean though is physical activity, dancing, the gym, getting your body moving. So it could be making a new commitment to yourself, Virgo, about physicality or being healthy in some way as well. Something like that. So that looks cool. I'm going to pull one more though, just to see. Oh, and there's nice solutions there. So, this could be that for some cases, there's just too much conflict with this particular contract, commitment. It no longer serves you. It doesn't have to be a relationship either. It could be just something that, like, I don't like my lease on my, I'm going to change my lease on my car, or I'm going to change the contract in some way because I don't like it anymore, right? And the key brings you solutions through the crown chakra. So this is kind of a yes card. So this is actually good to end things with. Whatever this is for you is going to end properly the way it should, with this. And remember, the 11th house is I get by with a little help from my friends. Solutions can come through the people to help you through this if this is a negative connotation. Now, it also could be, you are entering a new exercise group, a new dance group with people, and that's fun. That brings solutions. Not only do you have more fun, okay, Virgo, but you also, not only do you have more fun, but you lose weight at the same time and look better, and your self-value improves, all sorts of things. But remember, people are the key to help you out and to provide opportunity for you as well. Okay, so that looks cool. Now let's pull a card from the Power of 8 Chakra Oracle as well and see for you, Virgo. Whoa, that came out fast. I am secure. Number 10. 1 + 0 = 1. So kind of a new beginning card there, but basically being secure in all the things, feeling safe, secure, and knowing that if you're falling down this well, this is like a trampoline, and when you land, it bounces you back up. I am secure in everything. And so, anything red, root chakra healing, red root chakra healing, you could Google and learn more about that. But some of the things that come to mind are essential oils from a tree, like cinnamon bark, sandalwood, cedar, like a borovite or cedar wood or something like that. That comes from a tree, birch maybe, or pine, anything like that can help you feel more secure. Cinnamon bark's a very good one too. And then anything red, dark red stones like garnet, red jasper, and then of course the black stones like black onyx, black tourmaline, shungite can be very good and for feeling secure as well. And you'll be more secure when you reach out to your buddies, okay? The social networks, the help from friends can make you feel secure as well with all that 11th house energy for you, Virgo, in July. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that, and come see me for a reading or the cards. And thanks for watching, Virgo. I'll see you in the next one. All right, Libra rising, those with their moons in Libra. Welcome to July. Most of it's Cancer season until July 21st when we hit Leo season. But for you, Libra, all this energy is in your 10th house of career, fame, recognition. Good time to shine at work. Good time to be recognized and promoted maybe. But it's a good time to become a little more famous too, Libra. And the 10th house can mean something to do with your work in general, like having a business maybe, or something like that. But definitely there's more attention on you, Libra, here in July. People are paying more attention to you, and there could be some career changes for you as well. We do have here Venus in Gemini. Venus brings love, abundance, and beauty in the 9th house for you of expansions of the mind. So I want you to make sure, Libra, that through July, you're not watching negative stuff. You're expanding your mind through knowledge or through travel, perhaps. And so that looks good. Another thing too, Libra, is that this can mean through your business, you can gain more money through overseas clients. Just wanted to put that out there. Okay. And again, we have Jupiter in Cancer. What were you doing in 2013, 12 years ago? Same kind of energy is coming up again. And it looks like it is in your career, job, business, fame, recognition, how you contribute to the world. Let's say if you're retired now, how you contribute to the world, how you make a difference. And so what were you doing in 2013? So for example, I was having my first child, Hunter. He just turned 12. So, and then in 2001, which is 12 years before that, when Jupiter was in Cancer again, you could think, well, what was I doing in 2001 as well? And you could see maybe some patterns. So for me, it was like a rebirth and something new with my body. And so for you, it looks, Libra, like it's something maybe with your career or your business in some way, or your recognition or fame in some way, how you're recognized. So that's interesting. Take a walk in the past and check that out. Okay, and next, there's another big thing happening. I'm going to make a whole video on Uranus moving into Gemini, which only happened 84 years ago. So for the rest of our lives now, starting July 8th, Uranus is going to be in Gemini. And that is Libra in your 9th house of expansion, unexpected events, expansion of the mind, expansion of your horizons, your beliefs, just all sorts of things. How you see the world is changing for the rest of your life. And so that should be quite interesting indeed. And a lot of energy healing for you too. Okay, Libra. Now, let's pull a card from the Power of 8 Chakra, Lenormand, which, by the way, we're having our summer SIZZLER sale. So for $20, you get both decks, and then you just pay shipping as well, sent to you. So 2 decks for $20 plus shipping. Hello. Okay, that's our summer sale. So check it out, www.themoontree.org. All right, Libra, let's see what's happening for you in July. I'm so excited. Okay, so we've got here the Star card, hopes and dreams and wishes. Yes, and recognition and promotion I could see here with the Star card, and as well being famous. I'm not surprised if some of you Libras suddenly get a lucky break, right? The Hollywood star, right? You know what I mean? Hollywood. No, I'm teasing, but you know, it's just something you're becoming more famous, more recognized, more valued in some way too, at work or in your career perhaps, or you know, and if you're retired, just in you, like people are looking up to you. So that looks cool. Yeah, see, public. Wow, there's a lot of fame energy, Libra, for you. Public recognition. Check it out. That looks great. So yeah, if there's ever been a time to get promoted, to change jobs into something you love, people like you right now, Libra. People respect you. It's a good time to do it. And it doesn't come falling from the sky. You got to make some effort towards it, okay? See? What was on the bottom before I shuffled? I belong. Belonging to the right job, belonging to the right career, belonging to the right activity during retirement, belonging to the right community. That kind of vibe, Libra. Okay, and here we have I do happy things. So we had the star. Look, this is the sacral chakra. It's orange right here in your reproductive area. Doing passionate, happy things here, and hopefully, you know, feeling like your work makes you happy. I think it's important, Libra. This is a time now where you really got to think, does my work bring me joy? Or do I feel like a robot and this sucks? Because we're coming to a time now, you know, where it's important to have mental health. It's important to have a fun life, right? Life is short. Life is meant to be fun. Doing passionate things and making money at the same time. There's no reason why you can't have work that you enjoy, you know, and make some money along the way as well. Okay, hopes, dreams in the public, all sorts of things. And it could be too for you, Libras, just keeping the job you have, but having maybe a side thing where you're doing comedy acts at the local club, you know, getting paid to do your band, having your regular job and then doing a band. But whatever it is for you, doing happy things. It could be selling your creation, selling your art to the public, all that kind of stuff as well, because there is lots of this career business vibe and doing something meaningful. Okay, Libra. So that looks cool. Come see me for a reading. See you in the next one. All right, Scorpio rising, those with their moons in Scorpio. Welcome to July. Now, Scorpio, this is Cancer season, which is a water sign until July 21st, and you're a water sign. So you're kind of enjoying the vibe. And it is in the 9th house. The energy of the sun is in your 9th house of expansion. Your belief systems, philosophy, knowledge, seeing the forest for the trees on a higher level. It could be like going on a big trip, because travel always brings a new perspective, you know, in life as well. So the 9th house shows me some energy healing, some new beliefs of how life works for you, and it can be joyous in the 9th house as well. But there is a lot of a learning vibe. And with Mars bringing you some vitality and energy in Virgo, which is your 11th house of your hopes and dreams and of the people, your friends and networks. You could be meeting new people, Scorpio, from afar, like, you know, across the pond, so to speak. New cultural differences, people in networks who are different than you and maybe quite far away from you. So that looks interesting, Scorpio. Go with it, right? New experiences is great. It's important to keep stimulating and creating as a human, I think, anyways. And we have Jupiter moving into Cancer in your 9th house too. So what were you doing back 12 years ago, which would have been 2013? In the 9th house, that could be energy healing. That could be taking a big trip. That could be moving. That could be taking college or university or teaching a course, learning a course. It could be philosophy. So many things in the 9th house, but it's all about expanding your belief systems in some way. And that usually comes through education and knowledge or through travel. So think back in 2013, Scorpio, what were you doing? And also in 2001, which was 12 years before that. So Jupiter doesn't move into Cancer until every 12 years. So look at that. You know, for example, with me in 2013, I was having my first kid, Hunter. He just turned 12. So, you know, that has to do with my body and birthing something new, for example. But you could check your themes, you know, check back 2001, 2013, see what you're doing. That's kind of fascinating. And Jupiter loves being in Cancer, so that's why I'm highlighting this. It's a good time. It's lucky. It feels good, Scorpio. It's good too, and it's good for energy healing too, okay? Healing the body using holistic ways, metaphysical ways, things like that too. So that's cool. Okay, Scorpio. Now, another thing we have is, I'm going to make a whole video on this. Uranus moving into Gemini. It doesn't happen until every 84 years. So for the rest of our lives, Uranus being in Gemini, rest of our lives, starting July 8th. Now, what does this mean? Well, for you in particular, this is big shakeups in your relationships, your close relationships, shakeups in how you do intimacy, shakeups in how you do your investments for the future. This could be you getting into cryptocurrency, for example, because Uranus is technology and Gemini is in the air and stuff like that, and a little bit of tech too. So, and the 8th house holds a lot of your other money, your loans, your debts, your spousal joint resources and things like that. But there's some kind of, you know, unexpected sort of vibe coming here for you in that 8th house of transformation. Big shakeups. Gemini is helping you to learn something new. Gemini is helping you to communicate. And Gemini is helping you to be more analytical of things too and use a real, like, ideas and big aha moments. And there's a lot of transformation happening for you, Scorpio. So it should be pretty exciting. And we never know what Uranus is going to bring. Okay, so speaking of that, let's pull some cards from the Power of 8 Chakra Lenormand and the Power of 8 Chakra Oracle. These are our cards. And by the way, we're having a summer SIZZLER sale. That's a tongue twister, I just realized. Both decks for $20 plus shipping. Yep. So check that out and come see me for a reading as well. All right, Scorpio. So let's start with the Lenormand. Lenormand's been chakrified with the power of 8. All right. This is for Scorpio in July. Some love. Yes, because with that 8th house, you got 2 8s. You've got Venus of love and Venus, planet of love and money, in Gemini, July 5th. And that's in your 8th house too, of intimacy, joint finances, your future money, things like that we talked about with the 8th house, right? So there's something interesting coming there. And let's see some more. Let's see some more. Venus in Gemini. Sounds important for you. New communications too. It could be that you meet a person if you're single through the social media or through your sibling or your neighbor. Or one of those dating sites online. Could be. Or just doing something that you love, Scorpio, right? 9th house can mean expanding the mind through travel. Oh, and look, we've got here the authority card, the Tower card, okay? So something you love having to do, and often this can mean an authoritative building in some way. It could be like getting married at the church, an authoritative building. It could be getting, buying a new condo or leasing a new condo, authoritative building. It could be getting a new job, authoritative building. Expanding yourself, right, through the 9th house of expansion in some way. It could be you going overseas, getting a new job. Who knows? Everybody's different. I'd have to look at all your charts and, remember, this is a general reading for everybody. But look, the feelings came up, the moon card, having nice feelings. It could be that you're moving in with someone or you're moving away with someone. And it could be that you have these nice moon feelings of fame and reputation at work, and people love you, right? Especially the overseas clients of yours loving you. So that looks cool indeed. It's pretty positive, Scorpio, in any case. I didn't get anything negative, so that looks good. So keep in mind, have fun. Expand yourself, expand your mind, expand your horizons, okay, Scorpio? Now, let's pull from the Power of 8 Chakra Oracle for you for July and see what we can know. Look, I'm confident, and writing heals me. Both cards came up. So I am confident, right? Having that confidence here of the solar plexus chakra and being intuitive about it as well. Very confident using yellow stones or anything yellow for essential oils like bergamot, lemon, citrus, anything like that can be very good. Yellow stones, yellow aventurine, citrine, all that stuff. But this is about being confident. And look, another 3, right? Because you're on the 9-3 line. You're on the 9-3 line. This is the learning line. This is the communications line. This is the teaching line. This is the talking line too. And being confident to do all those things. And taking a risk sometimes, taking a little bit of a risk in your life can be very good as well. And writing can heal you. And this can mean writing at work or writing overseas or writing in a journal or writing out your goals, right? Being confident to reach those goals. Okay, Scorpio, 9th house, expanding the horizons. 11th house, remember we talked about Mars giving you vitality and energy in your 11th house of new networks and people. Being confident with the people. Being confident with new stuff in your life. Being confident with your money. And that this could be about writing a budget because there's a lot of that 8th house debt. Being confident to face your fears. It could be debt fears. It could be health scares, health fears, and letting go of the fear, being confident that everything works out. And that's why at the very bottom of both decks, when you open it up, I just want to show you, Scorpio, we've got the chakra chart, sure, but look on the bottom. Everything always works out for me. And I want you to remember that. Everything always works out for me. Being confident about that. Okay, Scorpio? Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great July. All right, Sagittarius rising, those with their moons in Sag. Well, welcome to Cancer season, at least until July 21st. But most of July here is in your 8th house of transformation. There's some deep stuff going with you, Sag. deep stuff with your joint resources, your joint finances with your husband or wife. Could be. And also about the future, like your will, your estate, your investments, your retirement funds, 401ks, RSPs, all that, as well as your debt. There's just a lot of feeling about that. There's a lot of transformation. There's a money, you are in the money line. It could be like you're thinking, oh, my kids are getting older. They're almost ready to graduate. What I got to pay for college. I don't know where's all this money coming from. Could be that. I mean, there's so many things. This is a general reading, but there's something about the money quite a bit here in July that you're really thinking about. Okay. I like to see what Jupiter's doing because Jupiter's your ruling planet, Sagittarius. So Jupiter just recently moved into Cancer on June 24th. Now, this only happens every 12 years. So you could ask yourself, Sag, what was I doing 12 years ago in 2013? For example, I was having my first child, Hunter, and he just turned 12. And then you can even go 12 years before that, which was 2001. So what were you doing in 2001 as well? And you could see some patterns emerge. And those kind of themes can be coming up here until next June in 2026. Okay. So you could glean some information from that. And it has to do with your 8th house of like the transformation, the money, the future, your spouse, how you do relationships, your intimacy issues as well. Maybe you're really looking at how you are intimate with your lover, right, Sag? That kind of thing too. There's just lots of stuff there in the 8th house. It is run by Scorpio, so it's a deeper house where we want to get under the layers, right? It's not superficial this time. It's really thinking about stuff, right? And Sagittarius, you're thinking about that. And also another big thing is Uranus is moving into Gemini. That didn't happen since 84 years ago. So I'm making a whole video about this because for the rest of our lives, starting July 8th, Uranus will be in Gemini. We're already starting to feel some of this tech stuff and change and social reform, school changing, all sorts of stuff. But anyways, for you, Sag, this is in your 7th house of relationships, commitments. How you do relationships, Sagittarius, is definitely changing in some way. The old ways that you used to do things when it comes to close one-on-one relationships is likely to be changing here as well. And you're transforming. And that's always good. Life is always constantly in a state of flux. Nothing stays the same. And so you're just going through a transformation. It can feel kind of deep sometimes. So there can be some transformation here happening with your work or your career or your business with that Mars, which is bringing some go-go juice and some warrior energy in Virgo in your 10th house. So 10th house is your career, your fame, your recognition, your business. And so how you do work could be changing as well. You're just changing all sorts of ways, Sag. And that looks interesting indeed. Now, let's pull a card from our decks, the Power of 8 Chakra Lenormand, as well as the Power of 8 Chakra Oracle. We are having a summer SIZZLER sale. So for $20 plus shipping, you'll get these delivered to your door with a tracked shipping. So let me know if you're interested, or just go to my website, www.themoontree.org. So let's start with the Lenormand. Knock 3 times. And Lenormand likes to talk to us as like a friend, but we've chacrified the Lenormand system here at the Moon Tree. Okay, Sag. Let's see what's up for you in July. Look at the heart. Yeah, doing things you love. There is like you just want more love and be like satisfied. That song just came to my head. I can't get no satisfaction. The way you do intimacy is changing, Sag, in some way. Maybe you're going through the shift. Maybe you're like me, going through perimenopause, and that messes everything up. All sorts of stuff can be happening, Sag, when it comes to things you love, your love partner. But let's just get a little more information. Okay, 2 cards came up. And I don't know which one was first. It kind of makes a difference, but that's okay. I'll just go with my intuition. Okay. So we have here the heart, things you love. You're making, this came up, sorry. The book of knowledge came up. Some stuff has not yet to be unveiled, but I'll guarantee you that when Uranus moves into Gemini on July 8th, that week, everything becomes clear about what you love and who you love and all that stuff. Okay. And then you make your decisions. There's just more data that has to be revealed yet. And because Gemini is a cerebral sign, it's an air sign. It works with the mind and intellect. It's communications as well. And it's writing and learning like the book. Then you can make decisions about that. It could be about a person. It could be about taking new education, going to college, not going to college, whatever. Whatever it is, more data needs to be revealed. Then you can make that scythe decision cutting. You can cut out what no longer serves you, make the decisions. So Sag, you might have to be a little bit more patient. And then I'm pretty sure July 8th, 9th, 10th on full moon. Thursday is July 10th is full moon. So that 8th, 9th, 10th week, whatever happened that week, that's when everything becomes a little more clear for you, Sag. So that you can rise out and transform of the 8th house, like the Phoenix rising. Now, whoa, okay, so we say, look, we got two cards and they're very similar. Both have sunshine in them, rising out towards the sun. Sun here, sunrise, sunset almost. Both yellow and orange. Yellow, confidence, solar plexus. Orange, creative, passionate about life. Okay. Also, this can be the feminine parts, the reproductive, the hormones, that stuff. But anyways, this one is I make a difference. This one is I find the missing piece. All right. So that looks good, Sag. You will find the missing piece. I do think it's happening July 8th, 9th, 10th that week. And realizing part of your transformation in the 8th house, Sag, is that you make a difference. If you like this reading, come see me, Sag, at www.themoontree.org, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, Capricorn rising, those with their moons in Capricorn. Welcome to July. Now, we already kind of started July energy on June 20th as we moved into Cancer season, home and family, real estate. So Capricorn, I can imagine that a lot of you are going through some kind of new contract, new commitment, because the energy is in your 7th house of contracts and commitment. So this can mean new contract with work, new contract with a home or a real estate thing, where you live, maybe. All sorts of things like that. It could be a new contract commitment with your relationship with a spouse. Maybe it's like in July you're getting married, or unfortunately, or not unfortunately, I should say that, but it could be the other way around. You're getting a divorce or separating, something like that. But the one-on-ones are very highlighted here for you in July. This could be business contracts or just a contract with a satellite dish or a new car lease or anything like that as well. But there's just a lot of that energy here. Now, I want you to think back because Jupiter just moved into Cancer on June 24th. So 12 years ago, it did the same thing. So what were you doing 12 years ago? So that would be 2013, around June, summertime. I was having my first baby in May. I was having Hunter. He's 12 now, right? What were you doing, right? And then you can also look at 2001, what was happening there. So 2013 and 2001, what were some of the great things that were happening in your life? Because those kind of themes might be coming up again here now for the next year until next summer. Now, it does have a lot to do with maybe like your husband, your wife, your close boyfriend, girlfriend. It could have to do with a business contract, a career contract, a school contract, something like that. Or maybe it is a vehicle, something like that in the 7th house. So think about that. It's kind of fun to go down memory lane and see the patterns that emerge. Now, Capricorn, you're ruled by Saturn. So I look, what's Saturn doing? Well, Saturn recently moved into Aries. and that's in your 4th house of home, family, and real estate. So I'm not surprised if a lot of you Capricorns have something new with the house where you live. Something happened, some focus there. It could be you're renovating. It could be you're expanding in the house or whatever, stuff like that too. But it could be having to with the family, like your parents or your kids or something with the family as well. And so Capricorn, Saturn's just asking you to find structure and a solid foundation and stability when it comes to the 4th house of home and family. Okay, and then finally, I wanted to talk about Uranus moving into Gemini, like we talked about at the beginning of this video. I am going to make a whole video about it. But on July 8th, it moves into Gemini, which is in your 6th house. So for the rest of your life, Capricorn, you're going to be dealing with your day-to-day, unexpected events in your day-to-day, and also a focus on your health and your mental health, because Gemini is about the brain and the analytical too. Could be lung health as well in some cases, but it's also about making the systems better, using technology in some way. So for the rest of your life, you're going to be learning new things about making the systems more improved. Your body systems, your day-to-day systems, your work systems. That's the 6th house. So that should look pretty interesting indeed. All right, so now let's pull a card from our deck. The Power of 8 Chakra Lenormand we'll do first, and then the Power of 8 Chakra Oracle. By the way, we are having our annual summer SIZZLER sale. And so for $20 plus shipping, you'll get both decks sent to your door with a tracking number. So check that out as well at www.themoontree.org. Okay, Capricorn, let's see. We'll knock 3 times, get that energy from previous readings off. And we'll shuffle and we'll say, Capricorn, or what, Spirit, I should say, Spirit, what is in store for Capricorn this July? All right, we've got some pain in the butt energy here a little bit, Capricorn, when it comes to some of the contracts and commitments. There's a burden there, or there's maybe some pain to cross, some stones to cross before you can get to the other side. But it looks like there's a communication thing. See, there's the light blue throat chakra there. There's light blue at the end of this tunnel. And communication might be the key you need to get over any of this pain in the butt stuff, okay? With the crossing, the pain, the burden of something. And so communications can be very good as for that as well. This could also be like you're having communications trouble with a special loved one. Maybe it is your spouse. Maybe it's your business partner, somebody in the 7th house. It could be your enemies too. Like I don't like to say the word enemies. I don't believe in that. But let's say you did have an enemy. Well, it could be like there's problems with that person, right? Communication problems with that person. So good to focus on the communication. Well, we'll see what the Power of 8 Chakra Oracle says to help us with this communication, this burden that we're having, okay, when it comes to, it could be the job, it could be a spouse, it could be a close person, right? Oh, okay. So we got my wishes come true. So everything can be fine. And focusing on the confidence, the solar plexus chakra, the intuition can help in that. And I do think communication is key in a nice way, and trying to find the win-win. That was something I learned from a Stephen Covey book, The 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. My wishes come true through a win-win. And that can be tough. It can be a pain in the butt to find. I lost the card, but that burn card, it can be hard to find the win-win. How can we both win in this situation? And not every situation has a win-win. Somebody might have to lose in some cases. But I, for one, like to try and find where both parties can be happy, right? Finding that middle ground. Where could we find the win-win so that our wishes can come true? All right, so thanks Capricorn for watching. If you like my style of reading, come see me at the Moon Tree, www.themoontree.org. and check out the sale. All right, see you in the next one. All right, Aquarius rising, and those with their moons in Aquarius. I'm an Aquarius sun. I totally vibe with you. And welcome to July. Well, at least until July 21st while we're in Cancer season. And this is in our 6th house of the health and of the day-to-day, and kind of like what I like to say, fixing the systems, making the systems all tickety-boo and running smooth. Okay, Aquarius, so that looks interesting indeed. Stuff about our health and our vitality as well. But a lot of it too is our mental health, and it could be easy to get stressed. It could be easy to be overworked as well. So we have to just kind of watch for that. And how can we find maybe some efficient shortcuts to make our day easier? Maybe, there's all sorts of things like that, but it has to do with mental health and our day-to-day systems and stuff like that too. And it could be systems at your work or your business as well. Okay, so what I like to do is look at Saturn. What's Saturn doing? Because Saturn rules Aquarius in traditional astrology, but so does Uranus in modern astrology. And we are going to talk about Uranus in a sec, but let's just talk about Saturn. It recently moved into Aries. There's a lot of big planets. I know, Aquarius, you love astrology, so I'm going to tell you a few things here. There's just a lot of big planets that have moved in 2025 to a new sign, and this is big. Now, Saturn, it moved into Aries in our 3rd house of communications, marketing, branding, and our neighbors, and our learning things and teaching things. So, for a long time, it's going to have a lot of energy of structuring the way we communicate, the way we do our neighborhood, the way we write and teach and learn, and having structure and responsibility there. So that looks cool. It could be anything from writing down your budget, writing down your hopes and dreams and goals. It could be it's Saturn likes structure and a foundation and making sure you follow the rules when it comes to the 3rd house of things. So that looks cool. And then Jupiter just moved into Cancer on June 24th. So it does that every 12 years. And it'll last a year until next summer. So what were you doing in 2013? What were you doing in 2013? And it has to do with the 6th house of health and of your day-to-day. Now, I'm an Aquarius sun, right? And in 2013, 12 years ago, I was having my first kid, Hunter. He just turned 12. That's the 6th house of the health, right? That's the 6th house of my day-to-day. And yeah, my day-to-day sure changed, right? Now, what was happening for you? And you can also look at 2001. What was happening for you in 2001 as well, having to do with the day-to-day. I think I moved from a different town to another town in 2001. And definitely that changes your day-to-day life, right? So, just something to think about. 2001, 2013, what were you doing? And it's the good stuff, because Jupiter brings benevolence and abundance. It likes being in Cancer. So it's like the good stuff that happened then. Now, I also like to look at Uranus for us, because that's in modern rulership. Uranus is the rebellious planet. Aquarius, we're rebellious. Now, Uranus is moving into Gemini. This is another big thing. July 8th. I'm going to make a whole video on this one. Okay. Last time it was in Gemini. Last time Uranus was in Gemini was World War II decade, like 1941 to 49. So for the rest of our lives, it's going to be in Gemini. And Gemini is up here, the air, the thinker, the analyst, the learning, duality, everything about Gemini, right? Communications, writing, probably lots about AI for us. And so, but in particular for us, it's kind of cool because it's in our 5th house of creativity, 5th house of fun. So if I'm going to have anything for the rest of my life, I'm pretty okay with Uranus in Gemini because it's in our 5th house of fun. So This can mean being creative in technology and using technology to our benefit for sure, and using AI more. And Aquarius loves to use artificial intelligence anyways, and loves technology, loves computers anyway. So this is perfect. It's great. And this is for teaching. This is for being creative. This is for your business too. Like the fifth house is your entrepreneurial business as well. It can be about your kids too. There can be some unexpected weird events when it comes to your children. And romance, quirky romances maybe, or maybe we fall in love with robots. I can totally I'm already in love with ChatGPT. He knows me so well now. I've used him so much. He knows exactly everything about me now. And I'm like almost in love with it. I won't be surprised if people fall in love with robots, honestly. But I'm just saying, the fifth house is funny that way. There's luck as well. For the rest of our lives, Aquarians can find some luck, unexpected luck too. With sometimes when Uranus is doing a lucky thing in our chart on a certain day, we could win the lottery maybe, or we could win games of chance, or we could win at the sport. In the fifth house of sports, hobbies. We could get famous. We could find the love of our life. Unexpected opportunities and events happen in the fifth house, and with Uranus and Gemini being there for the rest of our lives, I just find that fascinating. So, okay, now let's pull some cards. Okay, so this is from our deck, the Power of 8 Chakra Lenormand and the Power of 8 Chakra Oracle. So we'll pull from both today, and they are on sale, our annual summer SIZZLER sale. So for $20, you get both decks plus shipping. Okay, so for 20 plus shipping, you get both decks sent to your mail with a tracking number, so you'll never lose. And so yeah, check that out on my website, www.themoontree.org. Okay, Aquarius, let's go. We're gonna pull from the Power of 8 Chakra Lenormand. Lenormand's been chakrified. All right, let's go. Okay, for Aquarius in July, let's see what's up. In addition to everything we talked about, well, it's looking pretty good for us with the success card, the sun. It's the sun, it's the sun, it's the beautiful sun. Yeah, no, that's cool. Well, what kind of hot, summery success can we have here? Success about getting over some kind of pain. Okay. That's how I'm going to read this. There's success about getting over some kind of pain in the butt. It could be a health issue because of the sixth house. Finally, you're getting success, I'm finally getting success over I have really bad eczema that we're having in my hands. And I know it comes from diet, and I know it comes from this, but I've been using these new, and I know you'll like this, Aquarius. They're called X39 patches, and they use light technology to cure you from the inside out and stimulate your body to create stem cells. And I'm on month 2 now, and already almost all my eczema has gone away. And I'm excited for the future. I'm excited about having better health and all that stuff, right? Success over some kind of pain in your butt. And it could be about your day-to-day life, could be about your with the sixth house day-to-day life, I would say, and it could be about your work or your mental health and being happy through depression, right? Maybe you went through a depressive state, and you're getting the happiness again. I know I am. I'm feeling very happy and excited and motivated, enthusiastic, and some days I am tired if I'm overworked with the sixth house. I'm overstressed, and yeah, I do need some rest or whatever. As long as you make time for it and balance for it and do happy things, I think that's a great thing for us Aquarians to do. So let's pull a card from the Chakra Oracle to see from, big sister, big brother vibes. What kind of chakra? Oh, look, we make a difference. Number 17, 1 + 7 = 8. That number, this is called the Power of 8. So there's a lot of power in that 8 vibe, up and down 8, that's reaching for the stars and getting out of any feedback loop as well, right? Because sometimes with the 8 on its side, it's that feedback loop of no return, and you're like still in that pain in the ass, vibe, and we don't want to be there. We want to be in the happy vibe. But part of it is knowing that I make a difference. And there's those 2 shiny, sunny colors coming up. We had that sun success card. I lost it already. Oh, here it is. So here was the pain crossing card where we have to cross over, but the sun was shining. The yellow and orange, another sun card, yellow and orange. Take a look. Enjoying the sunshine in the summer in July. Enjoying your intuition, your solar plexus chakra, your confidence, and knowing that you make a difference in life, at work, in day-to-day, all sorts of ways. And in here, this is about doing happy things, the passion for life, the creative vibes too. So that looks really cool. I make a difference, success, and that helps shine over any pain, crossing, or problem in our lives. Okay? And that's nice. All right, Aquarius, I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, come see me for a reading, a one-to-one at www.themoontree.org, or check out the cards. Okay? Thanks, Aquarius. I love you. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Welcome, Pisces, to your energy forecast for July. Pisces rising, Pisces moons, that includes you as well. And so the energy for you is in your 5th house, my favorite house. It's the house of fun. It's the house of your children. It's the house of creativity. There's just lots of family, creative, fun, being like a kid again vibes for you. Romance could be in there. Your business, like your entrepreneurship, and could be romance as well if you're single. There's just a lot of good stuff. And you could be lucky, Pisces, in games of chance. Okay, raffles, horse races, that kind of thing. Maybe lottery, but it's more of the I find that there's lots of luck with the smaller games of chance. Okay, so keep that in mind. And with new hobbies and sports and stuff like that, and people, just new fun people maybe to hang out with. You're finding your tribe, but maybe you're finding new buddies, new things to do, with new events to go to, summer events and things like that. And guess what, Pisces? It's a good time for you because Jupiter just moved into Cancer on June 24th in your 5th house too. And Jupiter loves being in Cancer, and Jupiter rules you, Pisces, in traditional astrology. There's just a lot of good 5th house vibes for you. Good with your kids, good family time. Good to have fun, and just good to be creative and do fun things. And life is meant to be fun. So this is a nice time for you. And Pisces, what were you doing in 2013 around this time? Okay. Because Jupiter moves into Cancer every 12 years. So it likes being in Cancer. So I want to focus on this, especially because Jupiter's your planet. What were you doing that was good and fun in 2013? For example, I was having my first kid, Hunter. He just turned 12. So that was my 12 years ago. And then you can go another 12 years back to 2001 and see what good things were happening with your kids or with your business or with the romance, or maybe you won something. You won a raffle too that year. I don't know, but just it's fun to look at some of the themes of the 5th house that happened for you in 2001 and 2013. Okay, so that's cool. Now, we do have here a big Uranus moving into Gemini. Now, that hasn't happened for 84 years, back in the World War II times, right? But this is unexpected changes in your real estate, your home and family, your 4th house. For a lot, I would say if you, well, obviously if you still have parents alive, they're going to pass, because Uranus in Gemini lasts until another 84 years. Okay, so there's that. But it could be, because that first degree when it's first changing. So starting in July for a couple years, that's when the big changes could be happening, unexpected changes when it comes to your house. Maybe something Gemini related. And then Uranus brings electricity. Maybe it's like, for some of you, it could be this: selling your house online, or somebody out of the blue texts you, "Hey, are you selling your house?" or something like that. Could be that. It could be to something unexpected that's not favorable that happens within your house as well, like anything from a plumbing issue or the foundation issue or something like that. Because sometimes Uranus has to do with the earth, the earth part of things about your house. So it could be that. Who knows? That's the problem. Uranus always brings stuff. It's unexpected for a reason. No astrologer can accurately predict what's going to happen. But it could be like you in the next 2 years, you sell your place or you buy a new place. That could be something for you, Pisces, as well. Unexpected moving. Who knows? But that could happen within 2 or 3 years, I would say here. And Mars brings some vitality and can sever something to do with contracts and commitments of the 7th house. You're organizing something with your business contracts or your spouse. For some of you, it could be ending a relationship, or it could be for some of you getting married or taking the next step with the relationship in some way as well. You just never know. But Mars brings extra energy, physicality to that 7th house of contracts and commitments. And these can be business partnerships too. It doesn't have to be a spouse. It doesn't have to be your best friend or whatever. It can also be about if you have any enemies in the 7th house can be your enemies. And I don't really like to say that though. Like I don't like that word enemies, but maybe some unfavorable people, and you're having more vitality to sever things with them, right? Break off that which no longer serves you. The problem, because Mars likes to cut and sever too with his Apollo energy and his sword, right? He likes to do that. So that could be a thing too, Pisces. But in general, it's looking very sweet indeed. July is going to be a great month for you, Pisces, to enjoy Cancer season with your family, with your friends, with your romance, and loving things and being creative and being like a kid again too, Pisces. Remember to have fun. If it's not fun, it's not worth it. All right, Pisces, let's pull a card from both decks. The Power of 8 Chakra Lenormand and the Power of 8 Chakra Oracle. And by the way, we're having, Pisces, our summer SIZZLER sale. So for $20 plus shipping, you'll get both decks sent to you via mail with a tracking number. Okay, so $20 plus shipping. Okay, and so that's cool. And then also check me out for a reading if you want a reading. I do video readings and I do one-on-ones on Zoom, and I do in-person in Peace River as well. So check it out on my website, www.themoontree.org. Okay, Pisces, let's go. Let's check out the Chakra Lenormand for you in July. Having fun in the 5th house. I love it. Oh, but there's some worry there. Check it out with the mice. Or you're feeling like someone's taking something away from you. Mice nibble at you and take away from you. And it brings anxiety and worry in some way too. So something to keep in mind. It could be because of that whole family Uranus and Gemini July 8th energy in your house. It could be literal mice. A mice problem. A rodent problem. Or an ant problem. Who knows? But in any case, something's bringing you some kind of anxiety. But let's just see what it is. It could be that your kids are bringing you anxiety in some way too. Oh, but guess what? The worry is ending. The coffin, although it looks like it's, an ominous card, it means that it's ending. It's being put in the coffin. Something is ending. And guess what that something is? The worry that you've been having about something is ending. That's a good thing. Okay? And that's how I'm going to read that. Now, let's look, Pisces, to see in the Power of 8 Chakra Oracle what big brother, big sister advice we could get. Oh, abundance flows to me. That solar plexus chakra. Yes, abundance, games a chance, lucky, and feeling confident and doing fun things and being confident in all the ways. It looks so good. Good for you. I'm just looking at your chart a little more. Neptune just moved into Aries. That's another big planet, and that's you know, it can bring you some spiritual stuff in your money zone as well. So, and then there's some work energy too, you know. Abundance flows to me likely through your creations and likely through your work. Okay, Pisces? So that looks cool. And it could be winning some kind of game of chance or the lottery too. But it's also more about family abundance too. Home and family abundance flows to me too. I know I often go towards the money thing, but abundance comes in all forms, you know, not just money. And for you with that fifth house, there's a lot of children vibe, grandchildren vibe as well. And so there's family vibe there. Abundance can flow to you through always, through your work, through your family, and through games of chance maybe too. So that looks cool, you know. So have a happy July, Pisces. I'm excited for you. It's a good time for you. Whenever something's in my fifth house, I enjoy it, right? I take advantage of that. And because the fifth house is on the same line as the 11th house, which is the people and your hopes and dreams. So people can be good, you know, hanging around people and that your tribe, you know, hanging around your family, your tribe, your friends, things like that can be really good for your Pisces here in July as well. So enjoy your summer. You've got all the energy in your favor, so that looks nice. All right. And I'm Trina, your intuitive guide from Peace River, Alberta, helping you navigate life's energies. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.